Alright, in this video we'll be continuing with the Python, In this video we'll be continuing with the C# tutorials. So we'll be going over, we'll be learning about the parse method in C#. So the parse method is just done with method call, and then it takes a parameter. So if we have, let's just do an example. So if we have, we just get rid of this stuff here. So let's declare some fields. So we have int val. Oops, sorry. Forgot the access modifiers. So private, public, and protected are access modifiers. So private int val. So if we have, well, I guess we won't be able to do this whole thing, but if we have a text box, for example, and here in the constructor, or later on in some method or something, we said that so we have val points to int dot parse. So basically it converts a string to an int. So in this case, okay, let's just go with another example. So if we have a private string str points to oranges. So if we have here val points int dot parse, if we pass in str, then it should convert no, that's not going to work at all. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's say this string contains like 5. So if we have, so now this 5 will be converted to an int. You can actually do the number, sometimes it'll work. I'm not sure if it'll work in C#, because you can take the code from which, like the Unicode or ASCII table, each number is each letter is associated with a number, so it might just add all those up and give it to you. But in this case we can't try that because we don't have the text box set up. So let's just hopefully that makes sense. So let's just talk about that a bit more. So we can also pretend that we have a text box here. So we have a text box. So let's just comment this out. So if we say so we say val points int dot parse text. So if we say like textbox1 dot text, and if textbox1 dot text has a string that's 5, then it'll convert that to an int. So if we have so if the user enters 5 into the text box, then the code on the right side of the equals operator, which is this stuff here, so basically the expression calls the parse method. So in Java they have parse int. So again, it's very similar to Java. They have parse int, parse double, parse float, whatever. But in C# they go with the type first and then dot parse, and parse is capital, whereas in Java it's not. So it's very similar, just a bit different. It's almost 100% similar, but it's close. So remember, a text box gets values that are basically strings. So a text box can only hold string values. In this case, 5 would be a string. If we said that the text box contained 5, then val would then go from the string literal 5 to the numerical literal 5. Basically, it'll go from the string 5 to the int 5. So therefore, then val points to 5 if the string was 5. So let's just pretend the text box, or let's just say like, let's say theoretically that text box 1 prints 5 or has 5. Text box, or let's just say text box 1.text points to 5, the string 5. So if we call parse, then it converts the int. It converts it to an int, so the string gets converted to an int. Later on, we'll learn about toString. So toString will do the opposite. It'll convert the int to a string or whatever. Okay, so let's continue on with that. Okay, so if we have, let's just continue on here. You can also do this with doubles, so you can basically, you just have to play around with it. Check the docs if they have the method, but you can always try it. So if we have double here, so private double, so if we have private double val, then we can say val points to, or just another example basically, because we don't have the text box set up. But we could say val points to double dot parse text box 1 dot text. So here, let's say that text box 1 dot text points to 5.0. Then in this case, val will point to, or sorry, yeah, this is the string 5.0. So let's say the text box 1 dot text. So let's say text box 1 dot text points to 5.0, the string 5.0. Then we'll say here that val points to this points to the number 5.0. So I can, the way I remember it is that, because it is kind of a tricky method, but I just say that I pretend that parse means pass. It probably doesn't, but basically it's kind of similar, so I just think of it as pass. So I'm thinking, okay, well, in Java they have parse int or parse double, so in this case you're passing it as a double. So in this case, in C# instead of Java, then we have double pass. So basically, I just go backwards, passing it as a double, or up here, passing it as an int. We're passing the string to a double. We're passing the string to an int. This one we're passing the string to a double, passing the string to a double, and then here we're passing the string to an int. So that's how I remember it. I just think of parse as pass. That'll help you remember it. But just make sure you don't think that you're passing the double as a string. That's the part that probably might confuse most people. So you can just say, okay, well, we're going forward, we're passing the string and then going backwards to the double. So we're passing the string as a double. So going forwards and then we're going backwards. Sometimes that can help you remember. People who don't have a genius memory might need to do that, or if they've like lost their memory over time or something. So that might help you remember it. If you can't remember, hopefully you can. You will get asked this stuff on a university test, or if you're in a class, like a university or college class, you'll get asked this for sure. If you're just learning this on your own, then that's fine. Just remember that. Just go forwards and then back. You're passing the string as a double, or passing the string as an int. Okay, so let's, I believe we have an example here. So we have, I think we have a GUI example. Actually, we might just skip this because it's basically what we just did. We don't really need to make the text box and stuff. Technically, we could do this. Well, basically, we don't really need to, but we're going to do a bigger example with all this stuff in a sec. So just be careful for errors. You don't want to convert something you can't. So just be careful with that. So we also have toString. So the toString method. So I think we'll just leave it here because we'll try to keep things organized. So in the next video we'll be going over the toString method. So we'll be converting some stuff to a string. It's exactly the same as Java, almost 100%. It's just the T and S are both capital, whereas in Java it's camel case. So we'll talk about that in a sec. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys liked the video, you can support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. If you'd like to see more programming and investing tutorials. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.